Welcome back, you pistol lovers, to another episode of Video Game World Tours, a series where we slow down and soak in a game's environment. Today's tour takes us to the wonderfully nostalgic multiplayer maps of Halo Combat Evolved. Battle Creek. Now, I should say, I was never a big Halo fan back in the day. Modern Warfare 2 was my multiplayer shooter of choice around that time. Peep out my video on that, by the way. I only checked out Halo a couple years ago with the Master Chief Collection. I played through the campaign of the first game and a little bit of multiplayer. Not a whole lot. I actually got the achievement for participating in 100 multiplayer matches while scouting spots for this video, so I'm not super familiar with these maps here. But I think that kinda adds a fun layer to it. I'm sure some of you true Haloers will enjoy or hate seeing my perspective. I just hope you feel something. Battle Creek, sorry. This is one of the few maps I do remember. I said these maps were nostalgic earlier, and despite me never having played this when I was younger, somehow I feel that nostalgia. The bright colors of the grass and the skybox, the super simple geometry, stretched textures, isn't it all so beautiful? It doesn't get more 2001 than this. And the landscape is just no nonsense. No wide open spaces or anything. You walk out your base and there's the enemy base. I admire the defiance of realism in maps like this. Like, think about it for a second. What is this place? What's the point of these bases? How do you even arrive here? This pocket of the world is completely enclosed. This space exists purely for battle, for players to duke it out in an endless fight, where no matter who wins, everyone comes back to do it again. Eternal torment, in a way. But that's every multiplayer map in existence. What's special about this one? Unfortunately, I can't really show you a lot of secret hidey spots, as there aren't that many to begin with. But there are a few. Like the top of the two bases. You can parkour your way up there. I thought I was super smart when I first tried it. It felt like I was breaking the game. But it's gotta be intentional. This map is too small for something like that to sneak through playtesting. I imagine this would be a good power position to dominate the other players. That's the name of the game in Halo, I know that much. Finding power positions to pick off enemies from. Like this crevice up here. There's a sniper pickup and it's not a bad spot to snipe from. I like the placement of this big rock. It blocks you from seeing too much from this spot. It kinda balances it in a way, keeps it from being excessively powerful. Same thing for the sniper crevice on the other side. Good job, level designers. The final power position is on top of the main rock. And by God, are you exposed to going up here. You better pray to God little Timmy is picking his nose and doesn't see you on your way up. Once you do get up there though, you can wield the rocket launcher and rain down hellfire on him. He probably deserved it. Final spot of the map is at this side of the titular Battle Creek. Both sides of it go into the wall only a tiny bit before being cut off, but you can go into the rock a bit more on this side. You can get fully submerged and hide here. I wonder how easy it'd be to see someone tucked in here. I don't have any friends, so I can't ask someone to do it for me. Here's a visual recreation of what that'd look like. Yeah, I think you'd be pretty well hidden. Sidewinder is the next map and, oh boy, I was kinda surprised loading into this. It's big. A change of pace from what I remember of the few Halo 1 maps I played. Though I guess I should have expected something like this, considering there are vehicles in the game. You wouldn't be able to drive a Warthog around Battle Creek, so this makes more sense. I guess first off are the main bases for both teams. This is kind of a weird pull, but it reminds me of the respawn rooms in the original Team Fortress. Outside of these light things, it has that original Half-Life feel, you know? This map also has portals. I was gonna say that feels like a weird thing to include in a multiplayer map, but with a play space this big, I'm glad you can cut out some walking if there's no vehicles for you to take. Though I guess you can still walk if you wanted to, but who would want to do that when you can instantly teleport from there to there? I really like the skybox of this stage. The faint orange at the horizon over here, and how it fades into a deep blue on the opposite side of the skybox. It's pretty. Just the contrast between that dark blue and the bright white snow is so striking. Bungie was firing on all cylinders when it came to picking the right colors to use in a stage. And the ground, this isn't really a pretty snow. It's a nasty, dirty snow. Muddy, I dare to say. I'd almost wish it was whiter like the walls, but I won't complain too much. My favorite spot in this stage is just off to the side of the bases. The map is mirrored, so you'll find tunnels leading towards the middle of the map. Through the back entrance of this beautifully designed room, you'll find a gate with power-ups. And not just on your side, but the other as well. Both teams come face to face at this impassable boundary. You can still shoot or even throw a grenade through, though it is unopenable. I can't help but imagine two star-crossed lovers meeting at opposite sides of the gate here. They yearn for each other, but their duties dictate they fight. This spot is the only place they can share a moment away from the bloodshed elsewhere in the stage. What about you? Do you think love can bloom, even on a battlefield? From a wide and open map to a compact and claustrophobic one, welcome to Rat Race. Compared to the early 2000s feel of the previous two maps, this feels like something out of the 90s. Like a map from Quake almost. I can almost imagine speeding down these hallways with a movement system like that game. But alas, Master Chief don't got schmovement. This map is interesting design-wise, because it doesn't really have a distinct point of interest to me. At least none stick out. Maybe one would be obvious if I played this map hundreds of times like some of you out there. It's just a couple of tunnels connected together pretty simplistically. This reminds me of some of the meat grinder maps you'd come across in Counter-Strike. Like they were comically small and simply designed. I guess I'm more so reminded of this because of the aesthetic rather than the size. This is as plain as it gets. I have to give the artist credit though. These are some masterfully crafted, plain textures. Something about the floors, the walls, and the ceiling, they're so mesmerizing. I wonder what the texture artist who designed this back in the early 2000s is up to these days. I hope they're doing well. There is a bit of variation in this stage, it's not all plain tunnels. Like these arches. It's an interesting bit of architecture. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I like it. Or this bizarre raised structure. It's another thing that gives no hints as to its actual in-world purpose. Look at all these little beads of light on the ground. They're up above, too. I wonder if this was modeled with a purpose. Like, did the map creator have anything for this in mind when they were making it? Or did they just want to make something that looked visually striking? I feel like you don't see that design philosophy as much in newer games. I bet the increase of texture and model fidelity plays a part in that. Because games can render so much more detail in the environment these days, the artists have to actually think about purpose for spots in order to place relevant details around them. Like, would a control panel belong here? Is this technology related? Or is it more of an altar? A control panel might not make a whole lot of sense if this has a more ritualistic purpose. Kind of a tangent there, but that's what I love about maps from older games. You never quite know what you're looking at. Oh, and there's a dirt tunnel cutting through the top of the map. I guess this could be the map's main point of interest. There'd probably be a lot of people fighting in here to reach the power-ups and the glorious shotgun at the end. Great little map, even if it is relatively plain. Chill Out is another of the game's tiny maps, but the aesthetic is different compared to what we've looked at so far. This was built by the Covenant, if you couldn't tell. Humans build with gray, Covenant build with purple. Humans didn't even know what purple was until the Covenant introduced them to it. And oh boy, are they masters of their craft. This is beautiful. Look at this metal plating lining the foot of the walls. Perfectly shiny. Oh my god, look in there. A light fog covers the ground. It's all Friday the 13th in here. I'm half expecting to turn one of these corners and see Jason Voorhees himself. Oh my god. Some more portals. Where does this take us? Pink. I like it, I like it. The floor texture is exactly the same as the wall texture. That's efficiency. This is even more plain than Rat Race. Though maybe the Covenant appreciates simplicity. Maybe they fundamentally value simplicity, whereas humans value detail and artistry. Well, that's probably not actually the case, but I'll imagine it is. Headcanon over true canon, that's what I always say. That's my catchphrase, I say that every episode. Say, what's this back here? What could all this be? Computers, maybe? This is one of those things that you just have no idea what it's supposed to be. Your mind is left to wander. There's a strange obelisk in this room. Well, it's not too strange, I guess. It's just like these other two. But it's being held ever so slightly above the ground. It looks like you could just crawl under there. But unfortunately, we're too tall. Okay, that'd actually be a terrifying spot to be. Crawling under this slab of solid matter where you have no room to stand up? It could fall at any moment. Maybe it's for the best you can't go under there. That's all I got for this stage. I wish I did have more to say about it, but there's not really a whole lot to talk about. I just really like the look. The next stage is Gephyrophobia? Did I get that right? What even is that? Fear of bridges and tunnels. Well, if you have a fear of tunnels, you probably shouldn't be playing Halo. Bridges, I think you'd be okay. Please avert your eyes. Well, we can have a little look, as a treat. That really is a bridge, and that's a massive pit below it. A nondescript white void. Spooky. I feel like that's a weird choice, actually. Why not a black void? That'd blend in nicer with the terrain. I bet you could get some good usage out of a sniper on this stage, picking people off from the platform on the other side. Though if you don't like long-range engagements, hop into a Banshee and get up close and personal. Ooh, you can land on top of the tower at the center of the stage. Though you'd really be a sitting duck up here. Thank God they gave you a health pack. If you lose your Banshee while getting up here, you're stranded. Kinda sad, really. Stuck at the highest point with no way to get down alive. So instead he just sits, crouching, hoping that nobody will see him and blow his head to smithereens. While he's hanging out up there, let's explore the rest of the stage. Both teams have plain interiors on each side of the bridge. I particularly like this side. The pink lighting is so intense. I feel like I'd get a headache if I was in here too long, but a nice headache, you know? No super cool hidden rooms on this stage, unfortunately. I did discover that you can climb this cable all the way to where it connects. That's kinda cool, I guess. The next stage, I don't even want to spend that much time on. I just had to point it out real quick. What is the deal with Chiron TL34? It's literally just a handful of the tiniest rooms I've ever seen in a multiplayer shooter connected via teleporters. Who okayed this? I have no idea how this plays practically, but my gut tells me you only come here if you want to get nasty. It reminds me of Shipment in Call of Duty. People love how hectic that map is, but when you play it, it's like you're playing a different game compared to all the normal-sized maps. Same thing here. No wide open vistas, no vehicles, not the tiniest bit of breathing room. This doesn't even feel like it's from the same game as Sidewinder. Looks both ways shiftily. Don't tell anyone, but I would love this map if I was playing back in the day. I'm a sucker for meat grinder maps, and this would be my jam. Though maybe I would have preferred more of it to be connected normally, without teleporters. Great aesthetic too. Look at those walls. Beautiful. Alright, final stage of the video. And while I did say I wasn't super familiar with most of the maps in this game before making this video, there was one map that I knew about. One that's hard to not know about if you hear anyone talk about Halo. Blood Gulch. Is this the most popular Halo map? My perspective might be skewed as someone who's not super into the games, but I feel like this is the one most people talk about. Man, I don't have a single idea of how the stage plays, but I love the aesthetic. Through that alone, this is already one of my favorites. The warm orange of the rocks and the cool blue of the sky is such a powerful combination. The lighting, the color of the grass, the occasional dirt path breaking up the grass, it's just all beautiful. And the landscape, how about this? There's so much space. I imagine it'd be a blast to hop in a Warthog with your friends and cruise along, shooting any bad guys that you come across. I feel like if I had played this game when I was young and did that with my friend group, it would have been a moment I cherished. As usual, both teams have little outposts to gear up in. It seems like most maps have these. I like seeing the different design styles they use. This one's kinda tiny. From what little bit I did play on this map, I remembered the two bases and the expanse between them, but I didn't remember the outskirts lining the edge of the map. Like if you turn around and look behind your team's base, there's a fair amount of empty space. All the way back here, who's coming to this spot? There's nothing of interest. Or at red team's base, there's a little hill behind this one. That's a bit more distinctive than behind blue's base, but not by much. Huh. Was expecting to find a sniper rifle back here. This feels like a perfect sniping spot. Though I guess it serves as a pretty good hide-and-seek spot. Or maybe it's too obvious. I'm not a hide-and-seek pro, what do I know? I definitely didn't remember these tunnels cutting through the rocks. What is this? Hay? French fries? What are they doing on the walls? Peculiar. This whole game is peculiar. It feels so weird to me that this has likely been a trip down memory lane for a lot of you, but this was my first time seeing a lot of these maps. Yet I still feel a bit of nostalgia for them. I guess this aesthetic is enough to make anyone nostalgic. It's just so pure, dreamlike. Even though I've only been on this map a handful of times in my life, it still feels so familiar. If you have any other stages you'd like me to cover, leave it in the comments. I might make another video talking about them, who knows. I'll definitely, probably, make a video on the campaign levels sometime in the future, so get subscribed. Thanks for watching and see you next time.